Hi guys, welcome to my brand new channel. It's going to be slightly different to what I'm normally doing. This is actually going to be a clips channel, so I'm going to be featuring a lot of content that I may not normally feature on my main channel, but there's also going to be a heck of a lot of good advice because I want to try and make some of these bite-sized videos where you can just enjoy these short snippets, because I understand not a lot of people have time at the minute. So I thought today's topic that I'm going to be covering is whether you really need a van or not. Now, I'm actually going to a job right now to clean a Lamborghini Urus, a brand new one, a Performante or whatever it's called, and I'm going to be putting a ceramic coating on it. But when you see well, I can't really show the property that I'm going to, but you'll probably get a rough idea on how big it is. But when you understand and see where I'm going to, you'll be thinking, hang on a minute, it doesn't make sense. You are turning up at somebody's house in a Kia Sportage, you're not dressed up in a uniform, you haven't got a van with stickers all over it. How on earth are you doing it? How are you getting the clients? How are you making the money? And I've always said from day one, the work that you carry out will speak way more volumes. Now, I know there's going to be some detailers who go on, I've seen the comments on Instagram, oh, you've got to have a van, it's all about your brand, your image, you would never turn up with a dirty van. Well, yeah, sometimes if you're that busy, you have no choice. And it really irks me because you should never judge a detailer based on the vehicle that he's driving in, because you don't understand their situation. And I'm not going to get the violin out, but I'm actually going to explain my situation and why I personally don't want a van. Number one, I've already got a unit, I've got a studio where I can bring the cars if I really need to. I've had a van, I've been there and done that, and I didn't really feel the need for it. It wasn't comfortable, it wasn't really a nice experience. It did have the odd thing go wrong with it. And I just wanted something else. I wanted a bit of comfort because I'm now getting gradually older, and I just needed something that was just going to make my life easier. And of course, again, you've got to tax it, you've got to insure it, you've got to pay for the MOT, the running costs, all the other bits. It soon adds up. And then we've had 3 vehicles, and I thought, well, do I really need to have 3 vehicles, 2 cars and a van? So I ditched the van altogether. I just didn't really see the point, because when I had the van, it was almost as if I felt like I had to go and find more car cleaning work instead of more YouTube work. But since I got rid of it, it sort of pushed me towards doing YouTube a bit more, because I still believe that YouTube's a massive part of my life, and yeah, it does bring in some fairly decent money. But if you're a beginner anyway, let's go back to the main focus. If you want to be a detailer and you're thinking, I have to go out and buy all this stuff straight away, you don't. And there's so many ways you can get around it. I mean, I've already featured a video where I talk about all the storage solutions. Now, I had my Ford S-Max at the time, and I had all these boxes called Wham, and you can get them in Halfords, Amazon and places like that. And I thought they were absolutely brilliant because I could put everything that I needed for that day. Look, granted, you're not going to carry a steam cleaner all the time. You're not going to carry the air compressor. You're not going to carry your Tornador. There's always going to be all these other bits, a wet vac, for example. And a lot of the time, you're going to carry all this extra stuff around, and you're not even going to need to use it. You're just going to be carrying around excess weight. So I always thought, travel light, take what you need and be done with it. You negotiate everything with the client before you even go out there. If a customer was to ring me up and say, are you coming round? I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm coming round. What for? Am I doing a machine polish? Am I just doing a standard valet, wet vac, steam clean? What am I doing? You establish all this stuff before you head out, and it just makes your life a lot easier. You're not going to be carrying loads of tools around, so it's going to be less strain on the engine, less fuel. And I've always worked, well, I haven't always worked by that motto, but I used to do things the hard way, just carrying loads of bits. And it's not really that much of an inconvenience. If I'm going out and about for another job, I don't mind just chucking it in the car, because I'm charging a lot more money for the same sort of service. It'd be different if I was doing loads of maintenance cleans, like loads and loads of cheapy in and outs, that's it, job done. That would be really annoying. But because I've now limited it to about 2 cars, maybe 3 at tops, depending on the sort of day and mood I'm in, I just feel that, I can bear taking things in and out of the car. It's not really that much of a big deal for me. And I just think if you're really unsure about it, I mean, if you're not 100% committed about being a detailer, then I think you really need to just take some time to establish what it is you want to achieve from your business. I would just stick with a car, honestly. Make sure you tell your insurance what you're doing, obviously, because you don't want to get yourself in trouble. But just go with it, see what happens, and if you don't like it, it's no big loss. And if it turns out you absolutely love it, then I think it's a good idea that you start spending a bit of money, get yourself a van and get your branding sorted out. But I just wouldn't let it be the be all and end all. Don't say that you can't go and clean cars just because you haven't got a van. I think it's a silly excuse, unless you've got a pedal bike. But there again, I started off with a pedal bike. I did it on a bike. I had a trailer as well on the back, and everybody's got to start somewhere.